Hello everyone! Welcome to Process Asia Pacific. My name is Dong-Hee Kim, Managing Director of Process Asia Pacific.
And my name is Ray. I'm the Food Technologist of Process Asia Pacific.
I'm so glad to see you here, and we are very glad to invite you for our first live streaming on YouTube. Despite of pandemic period, we will continue to finding a way to sharing our process technology through all medias. So Ray, what we have prepared today?
Today we are going to make a chocolate mirror glaze. Donghui?
Wow, what is chocolate mirror glaze?
Chocolate mirror glaze is basically a layer of chocolate glaze you see on a confectionery product such as a cake, or some bakery products where it's actually a very shiny and very smooth layer of chocolate. So
let me think about it. That means we have this process, then tomorrow I can open bakery shop.
Oh, count me in. Totally.
Okay. Yeah. And by the way, all our audience, please type whenever you have any questions so I can actually see your typings.
Yep.
We have here the display, so we could see your message live.
Right.
All right. So what are the processes and what is the ingredient that we needed?
It's very simple. It's only chocolate, chocolate chips, condensed milk, sugar, and water. And we also have some gelatin. Yeah.
Water? Well, how many percentage the water is content?
We are talking about 20% for this recipe. So it's considered as a quite high amount of water for this product. Yeah, and we have around 35% of chocolate chip and a lot of sugar, 28 to 30% of sugar. So it depends on how sweet you want it to be. You can adjust accordingly, of course.
Oh, so that I'm able to adjust the sugar contents.
Yeah, of course. Because we have condensed milk as well, so you can play around with the sweetness.
That sounds very sweet.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead. What we need now?
Okay, we need the machine, of course.
What is this machine? All of you must know about it by now.
It's a UMC5.
Okay.
So it's a very simple to use machine. It's a very good, very convenient for lab scale development. And the capacity is very low, from 1 kg to maximum of 3 kilograms you can go.
Okay. Yeah. And the size of the machine is small, that could do 2 kg, 3 kg, and it can be placed on the bakery shop, hotel, catering.
Yes, absolutely.
Even in the institute and R&D center.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
So, what do we need to do?
We need to add in, of course.
Do you have any sequence to dosing ingredients?
That's a very good question, Dong-Hui. Actually, no. There's no restrictions to which ingredient you should add it first for this product. So eventually you can choose, whichever you want to add in first. So Dong-Hui, you want to choose something?
Let me see what I can do first. Of course, this is my first selection is
good choice.
Chocolate chips, couverture. Are we able to getting this chocolate couverture easily?
Oh yeah, it's very easy, easily available in the supermarket, of course.
Okay.
Yep.
So, and this is what I see is a condensed milk. It's very viscous.
Yes.
And a high sugar content, of course.
Yes, very high sugar, and you can see the texture is the thickness of the condensed milk actually contributes to the texture of the product.
And also, what about the flavors?
It gives some milky flavors. So it doesn't only taste chocolatey or very cocoa, it's not really nice to the throat sometimes. Yes. So we need to have some milky note to really soothe out the entire flavor.
It's actually then is the flow through the throat.
Yeah.
Okay. And next one is I'm gonna pick it up. And this is sugar.
A lot of sugar.
And most of the confectionery product, you are adding a lot of sugar here.
Yep.
Okay. Then what about this?
This is something that we need to take note
Yeah, there you go.
This is a gelatin. Gelatin, eventually we are not able to put in directly into the product because we need to bloom it first, meaning we need to hydrate the gelatin first. Because if we add in directly into the mixture, what it does is it tends to compete for water, so the hydration will not be as effective. So what we do is we bloom it. Okay, I've done some example here, Dong Hui. So this is what happens after we bloom it with just cold water. It's sufficient.
It's a bit like congregated.
Yeah, you are right. So after this, we are speeding up the process at the moment. So the rest of the water, yeah, we just add in into the rest of the water. So we can just add in directly.
Super.
Yep.
Oh, I see that. There is no sequence of the ingredient.
Nope, not at all.
Is it something that, because in general there is the textbook, you need to add, you know, this and that. There's our sequence, and I see that this is a very interesting point, and looks like this is a great advantage.
You are right, because due to the design of the machine, we are able to get a very homogeneous mixing. Because in general, what we are trying to achieve in this product is trying to get a very good mixing.
Okay.
So,
well, also is because actually I can dose every ingredient here, and then I just watch it. Then let the machine does all the job, right?
Yeah, you just put everything in.
There you go.
Yeah.
So this is what actually our customers and participants wants to know. What is level of professionalism actually the operator is need. But from here, what I could see is that the machine could handle everything unless you know how to do adding or just ingredients in the bowl.
Yep.
Okay.
So let's look forward to what's going to happen.
Yeah.
All right, so all in, and then we can start the machine. And let's start with the low speed first, because we do not want things to be splashing all over, right?
Okay, there is as this is a tabletop machine, there is buttons are available to choose the speed of the motor.
Yeah.
And what is the actually speed at this moment?
Now we are running at 25%, so we did some very quick pre-mixing, and eventually we can increase to the speed of 50%.
Okay.
Yeah, around 1,500 RPM.
All right, so maximum speed is 3,000 RPM. So applying of 50%, obviously 1,500 RPM.
Yes, of course.
So you need some good arithmetic skills.
That's just simple mathematics.
Okay.
And yes, Dong Hui, we are now heating up.
All
we are
right.
looking at a temperature of 60 to 65 degrees Celsius.
And by the way, our audience participants, you are feel free to adding any questions. This is a way we like to make interactive product demonstration. So whenever you have a question, raise it, you type it. So we are actually able to react on your question, right? That's super. Okay, good. While you are doing this, just one question I have is, what is the target temperature that you are looking at it?
We are going at 60 to 65 degrees Celsius, to be precise. Yep.
All right. Then after the heating, as a characteristic of chocolate, you need to cool it down.
Yes, we need to cool down, of course.
So what is the target temperature you aim to cool it down?
Right, that's a good question. So we heat up to 65. So mainly because we need to dissolve the sugar, because we add quite an amount of sugar into this product. So after that, because it's a chocolate glaze, right? So we don't glaze it glaze it hot. We glaze it cool.
If you glaze it hot, then you will cook the donut.
Cook it, and then it doesn't coat. It will just flow.
Okay.
Yeah, it doesn't coat anymore. So we need to cool down to 25.
So one machine actually does for both heating and cooling.
Yeah.
That's amazing. And by the way, let me have a look. I have working tools here. Perhaps these are another advantage that what a universal machine does.
Yes.
What is this working tool?
Dong Hui, this is a mixing element.
Yeah.
what it does is it does a very general mixing, especially for products that is really sensitive for
Okay.
stirring. And we are talking about products like chili sauce, ketchup, you know. So when we cook up and then the starch swell, and then at the same time we need to hold for a certain time. So the mixing is still going on, but at the same time we want to maintain the texture
Okay.
as much as we can. Yeah.
The point is that you actually minimize giving a shear force
Yep.
to the starch.
Yes,
Right?
yes,
So
absolutely.
it's a
That's the-
starch
that
is a
that is the
sensitive.
main concern.
Okay.
Correct. Yeah.
All right. And what about this? Is slightly is different. That you have a wing under the mixing actually.
Yep, it looks very
Light.
similar to the mixing element.
Yes.
Eventually, you can see a longer wing. So the function of the ring is okay. This is called the granulating tool, by the way. And this long wing underneath is actually very effective in pushing powders.
By the way,
Yeah.
is Arianto is Mr. Arianto. Just say hello, and then also very good to see
Hi,
you.
hello.
And by the way, Adam is actually raised a question. The machine has only heating jacket. Well, the machine has a heating and also connects with the cooling device. So the board double jacket is able to have both, you know, heating and cooling process. So does it? Do I make a correct answer?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay.
And by the way, we are at 63. I think we are good to proceed
good.
to the next process, which is to cool it down. So
Okay.
let me just do some trick here.
Okay.
All right.
There's just one more working through. I have it here. Is what we call is immersing fine.
Yep. Yep. This is what we call the emulsifying tool.
Alright.
So you can see, you can compare the design. The blade is placed position quite low, slightly.
So I can compare like this.
Yeah, you can compare. Yeah, this is
Like
a very
this.
good comparison, Dong Hui. So you can
Yes.
see it's so much lower. So the reason why is because normally when we want to create an emulsion,
Yeah.
like products like a mayonnaise, right? We start with a
Yes.
water phase. So water phase has a lot of solids, starches, sugar,
Exactly.
salt.
So you need to incorporate them, or therefore
Yes. So we need the low position so that we
Yeah.
are able to expel.
yes. So
know
you're
the
not
powder.
actually creating any lumps. You avoid any lumps
Yep,
incorporating,
yep,
right?
yep.
Okay. Very good. And if you have any more questions, you are very welcome, and feel free to make questions over the live chatting, right?
All right, we are now at 52 degrees Celsius.
As you mentioned that at the moment, but by the way, I heard that and I know that the great feature of the universal machine is vacuum. And at the moment, I see that the vacuum is not being connected yet.
Uh-huh. Yep,
So there's a reason behind.
that's very observant of you. Okay, for this product, if you were to make in the laboratory, so what I will recommend always is to always start with a vacuum. The entire process you need the vacuum. But for this demonstration itself, I would like to showcase what is it
Okay.
like before you apply the vacuum and after you apply the vacuum. We can compare side by side and see the difference.
Exciting. So you
Yeah.
have this is something conventional process, and then against that our modernized process, which equips the vacuum feature. And just Abbas, hi Abbas, you actually raised the question, what is the maximum temperature that this unit can go up to? And
Usually we are looking at 95 degrees Celsius. I mean, like for normal
Yes.
production, normal products like sauces, cheese, maybe some very flowy cheese, what kind of processed cheese?
like a cheese sauce type.
Yeah.
So just for your information, this machine is pressureless. So therefore, the machine temperature can go up to 95 degrees Celsius by means of double jacket heating.
Yep.
This machine doesn't equip with the direct steam injection. just for your information. Okay, so that now I have actually the two donuts here. Lucky that Jack has not eaten that up yet. So we still do have donuts left. All right, so from now what I can see is that you are going to show that the comparison with a chocolate glaze
Yep.
without vacuum process and with vacuum process, right?
Yes, yes.
So that our participants can really, visibly can experience that what is the advantage of a vacuum system.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
very good.
So we are now at 30. I think
That
we are good
fast.
too.
Did I talk a lot?
It's very informative. So
Because I see that the temperature is, brought down tremendously. We're
Yeah.
talking about actually here one small machine, delta T is 30 Celsius. We heated up to 65,
65, yeah.
65, and then we brought down to 30 degrees Celsius. This is another amazing point. Now, what we are going to do?
We're gonna check what's happening inside at the moment.
It doesn't really impress me at all. Really, I see that, okay, as this is, the vacuum is not being applied, so let's have a look.
This is expected, Dong Hui.
Yes, you see, you see that a lot of bubbles, and obviously our customers, definitely not intend to have this result at all. What happens with a lot of bubbles?
When there's a lot of bubbles, first of all, it's really not nice to look at.
As a visual contact.
Visually,
first of all.
We are talking about mirror, Dong Hui.
Yes.
Mirror, but this is nothing like mirror.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, actually, from the very beginning, what actually seen that the water contents is 20%.
Yep.
Then what happened? A lot of bubbles in the product. Then is the oxygen. Therefore, we expect that high water activities and the product can go easily, can go wrong. In other words, it shorten the product shelf life. So what is the feature of, again, the vacuum system is, of course, to increase and improve the product quality, and further, that actually extend the product shelf life. And here, I'm going to pouring the unvacuumed chocolate glaze on top of the donut. All right, there you go. Can you see that there is a surface that you see that a lot of bubbles?
Yeah, it's quite obvious, I think.
I think that this camera is around 10 years, but actually still can capture very well these all the air bubbles. So these air bubbles means that the density of chocolate glaze is, I would say,
it's not really nice.
it's very open, right?
Yeah, it's
Its
very open.
density is
Yeah.
not tight enough.
Yeah, it's actually a lot of air bubble inside. That's why, okay, you might not be able to compare now, but later on you can see this is so much brighter in terms of color because the bubbles, the fine bubbles inside, they are actually reflecting the lights. So you tend to see that this donut is actually looks very gritty, and the color is brighter.
Yeah,
that is the reason why.
Obviously, this is not acceptable, as you see that a lot of bubbles in it, and then we are going to make something miracle with all the bubbles is captured, and then you will see that how actually the vacuum will improve the product quality. Okay, and now what we are doing, just how much actually vacuum that we are applying here.
All right, so we are now at 200 millibar, Dong Hui.
Now, all the audience, I have a question to you. What is the atmospheric pressure atmospheric pressure, how many millibar?
Anyone?
There will be a prize.
Anyone?
I will count 5. Those, don't Google it. You know, key in what is the atmospheric pressure millibar. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Nobody.
Maybe
Very
there's
sad.
Maybe there might be some delay.
I know that there is a 20-second delay actually, but I tell you, atmospheric pressure is 1,000, around 1,013 millibar. Oh, who's that? Congratulations, but too late.
Oh.
Okay, well done.
Yeah.
Well, by the way, we actually apply almost 80%. Therefore, we make the the bore inside the bore. The pressure level is gone down to 200 millibar. So that we are applying very high vacuum to this tiny bore.
Yeah.
All right.
Yep.
Narin, sorry, you're too late. Very good. So,
All right,
how
we are
long
done.
do you need more?
Now we are done.
So fast. How long was it taken?
30, maybe 1 minute.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's very amazing. Now,
We got the release.
yeah,
the
I
vacuum.
hear that the aeration, so that is being ready for open.
Yes. Yeah. So we just got to remove all this first before we
Okay.
lift the bowl, always.
Now, this is a very exciting moment, and
Okay. Are you ready, Donghui?
I'm ready. I'm so ready. I already see
my.
from there.
Oh my God,
Fantastic.
this is.
I tell you one thing, that we are doing exactly the same product from the non-vacuumed chocolate glaze, and we just applied the vacuum here. Do you see the color difference already? This is the color. The color is being dark. Why? What happened? That all the air is being taken out, and then the density of this chocolate glaze is being greater. Therefore, there is the molecule of the product inside is tighter. Therefore, you see that the surface is so shiny and glossy. And do you have any question at this moment? I can invite you. All right. So, what if Ray stopped the scraping for 30 seconds or, okay,
All
as
right.
an operator, forget about the scraping, what happens to it?
This is generally, I do not recommend to stop scraping because now we are dealing with, because once the further we cool down the product, the thicker it gets, right? So when it becomes thick, the trapped oxygen, the trapped air pocket in the product tends to be very well seated inside. So we need some motion, some motion to help the air to rise to the surface and then being sucked out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, I'm going to, Narin, have a look. I mentioned that it's too dark, but is chocolate supposed to be dark? But you need to see that how glossy the surface of chocolate is.
I can see myself.
My goodness, you see that the difference between, actually, Jack, can you please shoot this together? And this is, what is difference? Chocolate glaze, by the word itself is glaze, is a mirror glaze that is reflecting. I can see myself. Actually, I see that my face from this mirror glazed donuts. So this is something that what we are able to attract our consumers. And Narin just made a question, taste without vacuum, and I will check it out because at the end of the session, I'm going to eating up, all right?
Stay tuned, Narin.
How about the taste? That is exactly the same question what Narin made it, but we will check this out, all right? But of course, if you want to have more taste profile, feel free to join us more, and we are always able to sending you a sample by courier.
Yeah, technically speaking, may I answer the question from Narin and Arianto?
Sure, please.
All right, so I would say the taste before and after vacuum, it shouldn't be that much of a difference because after all, we are dealing with the same ingredient. So what the main difference would be, I think the mouthfeel itself.
Of course, the density
Yeah, the
related.
density. So the one which is really aerated, it tends to be more, or not so smooth, maybe a bit coarse, and then it tends to be flowy. And then the one that has been aerated, has been vacuumed, de-aerated or vacuumed, it tends to be more dense, more smooth, and then it's more thick.
Great contribution of the vacuum feature is the appearance of product, because as a consumer can decide, is the first decision making is based on the visual attempt. So it actually contributes to visual, but also extends of the shelf life due to suck out all the air bubbles, which is oxygen. So this is a great difference between the non-vacuum donut and vacuumed donut. And this is our product demonstration today.
Yep.
And of course, we would like to get in touch with you more closely. And always you could contact us for more information. Here we are, even though we're not able to visit you at this moment of time, but we are always here to giving you a support. And our next live streaming will be on the 3rd April next week, Friday. So the contents agenda will be shared by email shortly. See you soon, everybody, and have a good day. We are Proxys.